Hey guys, let's get more news about Lakers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. The concerning rotation change that must be temporary for J.J. Redick's Lakers. The Los Angeles Lakers are searching for answers on the defensive end of the floor. The offense ranks among the best in the NBA through 7 games, but Los Angeles is hemorrhaging points and first-year head coach J.J. Redick is exploring his options. Unfortunately for Max Christie, that led to a surprising change in the rotation, as Cam Reddish effectively took his place against the Detroit Pistons. Christie has struggled in 2024-25, shooting 28.6% from the field and 23.1% from beyond the arc. It's been a disappointing display after the 21-year-old re-signed with the Lakers on a 4-year, $32 million contract. Just 1 game removed from his best game of the season, however, Christie received a mere 4 minutes of playing time against Detroit. Christie was replaced in the rotation by Reddish, who made his second appearance of the 2024-25 regular season against the Pistons. Reddish played 14 minutes, pulling down 5 rebounds and coming up with a steal while producing an impressive plus-minus of +10 in a 115-103 loss. Reddish's physicality on defense proved essential to the Lakers getting back into the game, but one can't help but wonder what his emergence could mean for Christie. There's no sugarcoating it, Christie has been objectively bad through 7 games. His jump shot has been nowhere to be found and the Lakers are being outscored by an unfathomable 28 points per 100 possessions when he's on the court. As Los Angeles struggles to find answers to why the second unit has been among the worst in the NBA thus far, it's understandable for Redick to consider benching Christie. If that decision is ultimately made, however, it must be a temporary move. Developing Christie should be one of the top priorities for the Lakers in 2024-25, as his limited playing time in 2022-23 and 2023-24 prevented him from learning how to play through his dry spells. Reddish should get minutes if he's helping the Lakers win, and thus far, the team has a net rating of +22.0 when he's on the court, but Christie must not be forgotten. Christie's current quality of play is so far below what he's done through 2 seasons that there's no rational way to judge it as anything other than a statistical anomaly. He shot 37.8% from beyond the arc through his first 2 seasons, with an adequate sample size of 180 attempts. The fact that he's shooting 23.1% from distance in 2024-25 should be a clear indication of how realistic it is to believe that Christie will return to form sooner rather than later. Giving Christie the opportunity to learn from these mistakes will be essential to the Lakers potentially developing a productive bench by the end of the season. Christie and rookie Dalton Knecht have the tools to become high-quality players, but they must be allowed to learn from their mistakes rather than being removed from the rotation entirely. All will likely become clearer once the Lakers are done with their brutal 5-game road trip, but keeping Christie in the rotation must be the goal. Ja Morant's Grizzlies get big injury updates before hosting LeBron's Lakers. The Memphis Grizzlies are looking at bailout options going into a huge game against the Los Angeles Lakers. Ja Morant versus LeBron James will always be worth the price of admission. However, both All-Stars are looking at the injury report wondering who else will be joining them on the court when the NBA returns to after. The Grizzlies got encouraging news on Election Day. Luke Kennard, left foot muscle strain, has yet to play a minute but moving up to questionable instead of being an immediate scratch is encouraging. Memphis was expecting a lot after the 28-year-old veteran re-upped with the Grizzlies on a 1-year, $11 million deal this summer. Kennard wanted to keep a good thing going after averaging 11 points, 3.5 assists, and 2.9 rebounds per game while hitting right at 45% from three-point range last season. Taylor Jenkins could use the fleet-footed floor spacer in the rotations as John Konchar, right quad contusion, will likely miss a 4th straight game. Kennard and Konchar could find fewer minutes on offer when they do return though. Jenkins will have some decisions to make considering how well Scottie Pippen Jr., Jake LaRavia, and Jalen Wells are playing. That young trio will be tested when the NBA returns to action after Election Day. LeBron James is flying into the FedEx Forum for a marquee matchup against Ja Morant. However, rookie Zach Edey might have an easier path to another double-double. Anthony Davis, left heel contusion, is listed as day-to-day going into the November 6 meeting in Memphis. It is an unfortunate update from a fan's perspective. Davis is averaging 32.6 points, 11.6 rebounds, and 1.7 blocks on 57.1% shooting from the field. Getting to see last year's NCAA National Player of the Year jostle with this season's early MVP frontrunner would be worth every penny. The Grizzlies will have time to heal at home as 10 of the next 15 games are in the FedEx Forum. Several key contributors can focus on rehabbing with the training staff instead of keeping up with flight schedules. Bane, right oblique strain, will be evaluated week to week after getting bruised up against the Brooklyn Nets on October 30. Smart, right ankle sprain, is also considered week to week after a first-quarter fall against the Nets. Spencer, ankle/Taylor stress reaction, is to be re-evaluated just before Thanksgiving according to the team's official update. Williams Jr., left tibia stress reaction, is still rehabbing away from the full-court runs, still 2 to 4 weeks away from a return to unlimited action. Surviving another month without 5 key contributors would be very challenging. Thankfully, it sounds like some will be trickling back into the rotation sooner rather than later. Ja Morant, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Zach Edey should be able to hold down the fort until then. Surprising development makes Colin Sexton perfect Lakers trade target. The Los Angeles Lakers haven't run from the fact that they're open to executing a trade if it gets them discernibly closer to a championship. It's a high standard to set, but with an elite starting lineup and invaluable familiarity between key players, it's an understandable requirement. Thankfully for the Lakers, a potentially perfect fit has seemingly emerged on a team that has arguably undervalued them in 2024-25, Colin Sexton. Despite his obvious talent, the early stages of the 2024-25 regular season seem to have revealed how little the Utah Jazz seem to value Sexton. He's played just 23.5 minutes per game through 6 appearances, and was suspiciously relegated to the bench in recent days. The benching came on the heels of Sexton posting a season-high 23 points on 9 of 11 shooting from the field. Sexton has since returned to the starting lineup, but that was due entirely to the fact that Jordan Clarkson, who'd replaced him, missed the aforementioned game. There also appears to be a full-force commitment to the development of point guard Keyonte George. If this signals Sexton's availability in trade discussions, then there may not be a better time than now for the Lakers to buy low on a potentially valuable commodity. Sexton may be struggling to secure consistent playing time in 2024-25, but his talent is undeniable. In 2023-24, he averaged 18.7 points, 4.9 assists, 2.6 rebounds, 0.8 steals, and 1.6 three-point field goals made in just 26.6 minutes per game. Those numbers translate to elite figures of 25.3 points, 6.6 assists, 3.6 rebounds, 1.1 steals, and 2.2 three-point field goals made per 36 minutes. Compounded by his generally efficient play, including a slash line of .487/.394/.859, Sexton looked the part of a high-ceiling point guard. It was hardly breaking news, but a torn meniscus in 2021-22 pressed pause on his ascension just one season after he'd averaged 24.3 points per game with the Cleveland Cavaliers. There are questions about how he'd fit on a winning team with an established hierarchy, but there's no shortage of talent to develop. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Colin Sexton? Leave your opinion in the comments.